Today, I want to talk about field sharpeners. You know, I used to travel a lot for work and wanted to have a field sharpener or some kind of sharpener with me whenever I traveled. Because I used a pocket knife a lot when I traveled. Was installing some computerized systems, but there was a lot of boxes to open and other things to do, and so a good pocket knife has always been essential. So today I want to kind of cover what I found for me that seems to really work well. You know, I tried all kinds of these little weird sharpeners that, I don't know, none of those seem to do any good for me. I know there's other options that are maybe a little fancier than what I've chosen, but what I want to show you today is this one from Spyderco. It's the Spyderco Double-Stuff. Now the Double-Stuff is actually two stones, laminated together, built into one. There's a really fine side and a medium side. The medium side is pretty aggressive if you have a little nick, or you won't take a huge nick out, but if you've got a little nick in your blade or it's just gotten a little flat on the edge and you're wanting to clean it up, this will do it. And then the fine side is really fine. It's, I don't know, compared to my 1200 grit diamond stone, it feels a little finer than that. I'm not sure exactly what the grit is, but this will actually put an edge on your knife that even without stropping is shaving sharp. It's really great. So, comes in a little leather pouch. These are just a really fantastic stone. Now, originally I had just this fine stone by itself that I had purchased, and you had it in a similar kind of pouch, and I carried it for quite a while, and then on one trip, TSA decided they wanted it more than I did, I guess, because they took it from my bag and disappeared as I went through security somehow. Maybe it wasn't TSA, but somebody took it. So I went to actually a local woodworking store called Woodcraft, and I bought this one, and I've actually liked this one a little bit more. Number one, it's just a little bit thicker, so if you watch some of my videos, I actually hold on to the stone while I sharpen. And I know this is probably something that everyone's going to scream at me and say, don't do that, you're going to cut your fingertips off. But I've been doing this since I was 7 or 6 or something. And I haven't cut any fingertips off. You have to be careful. It's a knife and it's sharp. And if you're gonna use knives, you gotta be careful. And if you can't be careful, you probably shouldn't be using a knife. So anyway, but I will use this, and like I say, I just hand hold it. I see a lot of people that will lay the stone on the leather because it's suede and it's kind of grippy, so you can put the stone on the table with the suede underneath it and you can use it like a bench stone. And it works just fine. I'll use a bench stone that way, but I really have just, over the years, started off with little carborundum stones that they used to make and you'd get with a knife, and especially some sheath knives used to come with one, and I had an Air Force survival knife that had a little pocket in the front of the sheath, had a little stone in it. But I've gotten used to doing that, and so, I can see my angles well, and I can just carefully stone, the blade and bring it back to just perfect sharpness. And, I've been doing that for just since I was a little kid. And, freehand sharpening like that, or whatever you want to call it, is like anything else. It takes a little practice. You can't get those angles real consistent until you just do it some. And so, if it's better for you to put it on the table or whatever, that certainly works. These are ceramic stones, so really neat thing is you don't have to use any lubricant, no water, no oil, or anything like that. I think I've heard of some people using water just to help float off some of the stuff. And you notice this gets coloration on it. Can't really see it on this side, but it's probably some there. And periodically, if I want to clean this off, you take some abrasive, bathroom cleaner. Like I use Barkeeper's Friend. You could use Comet. I know there's a number of them, but it's the powdered cleanser. And I'll get this wet, shake some of the cleanser on it, take a rag or a little scrubber, and just scrub it real good, and the black stuff all just disappears. Comes out just bright and shiny white. And anyway, so this is the Spyderco Double-Stuff. I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to get one. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember the price now, and they're a little high. I think the suggested retail on this is $75 or $80, but you can get them a little cheaper online. They're not super cheap, but I think they're really well worth the money for several reasons. Number one, it does a fantastic job. It's very portable. It's been really durable. I haven't had any problems. put this in my backpack and traveled all over the country with this in a backpack, and it has just been great. So it's does it, you know, like I say, it does a really great job. You don't have to have, you know, if you're out in the field, you don't have to have any oil or water or anything like that, or spit on it or whatever. You can just sharpen a knife with it. Works really well. And so I have really enjoyed using this, and like I say, it will bring a knife just right back to where you need it to be, and really just a great product. You notice I'm using today an old Western Cutlery Barlow. This was probably made back in the 70s, I think. If you know me, you probably already know I like Barlows, and I love vintage Barlows. So this is one I love carrying. Just a super great knife and great steel. Anyway, the Spyderco Double-Stuff. There is a Double-Stuff 2 now out that the medium side is actually a different kind of ceramic stone that's more aggressive. I haven't really found a reason. It's more expensive too. I haven't really found a reason to try to move to that since I already have this one. If you were buying one, I'll put a link for one of those in the description too if you want to get one. But you know, if you already had one of these, I don't know that there's a huge reason to change. Now, like I say, this has been a really great stone. I have really enjoyed it. I've seen a couple videos online where people would take a little diamond stone and kind of smooth around the edges just a little bit, so that you could use it, you know, like the edge of it on maybe a serrated blade or something. I don't have any serrated knives. I have some steak knives, but I never sharpen them. They get dull, I throw them away and get different ones. But if you know, if you wanted to do that, you could do it. But I haven't had any need to do anything like that. So Spyderco Double-Stuff, great little stone. It's for a field sharpener, just really hard to beat. And like I say, I know there's fancier ones. Probably a lot of people will mention the little Worksharp field sharpener. It's got the angle guides, it's got the ceramic rod, it's got diamond stones, it's got, you know, a fish hook sharpener, it's got all that stuff. I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy. I like a stone. You know, that's all I really need. And I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that Workshop sharpener. I'm sure it's a great product. Maybe one day I'll buy one. They're not very expensive, and try it out. But I have really fallen in love with this, as the performance I get from it is just excellent. So anyway, that's my field sharpener. Hope that's helpful. If you have any thoughts or comments, I'd love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching.